There's no play, there's no team that I've been on that the number one option don't get the ball during a tie score situation. When LeBron took the ball, it was a tie ball game. It was like 100-100 or something like that. LeBron went for a pick and roll with the white guy, got the white guy on him, drove to the basket. Giannis kept pursuing him, and Giannis said, "Get that out of here." What I'm saying is, during that time, the ball should have been swung to Luka. Luka is the number one option.
When Kwame Brown goes off, he's not whispering, he's not playing polite, and he's definitely not protecting feelings. He talks straight, no filter, no fence sitting, and this time his aim is locked on LeBron James, the so-called king, who's been the face of the league for 2 decades. Kwame isn't arguing legacy rings or what LeBron used to be. He's talking about right now, about a player who, in Kwame's eyes, is actively getting in his own team's way by refusing to step aside when the moment clearly demands it. This isn't disrespect, this is reality.
You might need to be a facilitator. And if it gets your team a win, then the media shouldn't come down on you because you didn't have that average. Especially a bunch of people that don't know about basketball. And I think that's what they've done to the minds of our superstars. They screwed them up. They're not real basketball players no more. They just want to get numbers. Well, if they don't, the media gonna pick on them. I got to make a certain number to be an all-NBA player.
Facts.
Why would I care about winning? I just want to hit my numbers.
And here's the uncomfortable part nobody wants to say out loud. The debate isn't, is LeBron still great? That's a distraction. The real question is simpler, sharper, and way more dangerous. Why is LeBron still acting like the number one option when the team already has one? So let's stop dancing around it. Late game, season on the line, chemistry hanging by a thread. Who should have the ball when everything tightens up? Has that moment for LeBron officially passed? Or is everyone just afraid to admit it?
I'm confused on who's the number one option now. LeBron is going up to the free throw line taking free throws when he's a horrible free throw shooter compared to his teammates. Then when it's crunch time, LeBron is having a decent game, but Luka is averaging 30. He's the number one scorer on y'all team. Why doesn't he have the ball?
Kwame zeroed in on what fans ignore because of the name stitched on the jersey. In crunch time of a tie game, who do you trust? A 40-year-old forward whose free throw shooting has been shaky for years, or the elite scorer averaging close to 30 a night? The guy defenses are actually scheming for. There was zero hesitation from Kwame, no debate, no nostalgia, no but his legacy. Luka Dončić is the number one option, period. And across NBA history, every era, every system, every locker room, the rule never changes. The number one option touches the ball when it matters. Then Kwame broke down the exact play that set him off. Tie game, late clock, pick and roll. LeBron hunts the matchup he wants, lowers his shoulder, drives hard, and runs straight into Giannis Antetokounmpo, one of the most dominant two-way forces of this generation. Giannis doesn't flinch. No respect for names. No hesitation. No moment too big. He meets him at the rim and sends that attempt right back. And right there, in that instant,
I'm confused on who's the number one option now. LeBron is going up to the free throw line taking free throws when he's a horrible free throw shooter compared to his teammates. Then when it's crunch time, LeBron is having a decent game, but Luka is averaging 30. He's the number one scorer on y'all team. Why doesn't he have the ball?
Kwame says the real problem gets exposed. That ball never should have been in LeBron's hands. It should have been swung to Luka, let him decide whether to shoot or create. That's not hate, that's not disrespect, that's basketball 101. What makes this sting even more is that LeBron James built his entire reputation on making the right play. For years, that was his shield. Passing in clutch moments, trusting teammates, letting the game come to him instead of forcing bad shots. That's how he separated himself. But Kwame Brown says something has clearly shifted, and it's not basketball anymore. In Kwame's eyes, that late game drive wasn't instinct or high IQ, it was ego.
What I'm saying is, during that time, the ball should have been swung to Luka. Luka is the number one option, correct? There's no play, there's no team that I've been on that the number one option don't get the ball during a tie score situation.
It was LeBron hearing the noise, scrolling the comments, listening to Skip Bayless, seeing people say he's not that guy anymore, and refusing to let that idea breathe. Kwame calls it insecurity surfacing at the worst possible moment. Then came the free throw situation, and Kwame absolutely torched it. LeBron walking to the line in key moments, taking those shots when he's not the best shooter on the floor, doesn't sit right with hoop purists at all. Kwame says that's not leadership, that's entitlement, that's hierarchy overriding logic. Kwame also brought up a recent family-related game moment that had people talking. High pressure, eyes everywhere. LeBron struggled at the line and needed multiple tries just to scrape together a few points. And again, the issue isn't missing. Everyone misses. The issue is role clarity. If you're not the best option in that moment, why are you demanding the responsibility? That's where Kwame zooms out and connects the dots. No contract extension, uncertainty about the future, rumors floating around that this could be LeBron's final season in LA. According to Kwame, all that tension is bleeding onto the court. Instead of fully buying into a new hierarchy, LeBron is still trying to prove he's the alpha, still trying to show the league, the front office, and the fans that he deserves top-tier money, even at 41 or 42 years old. And that's why, Kwame says, the ego keeps popping up at the worst times. This is where it gets uncomfortable for LeBron fans. Kwame didn't just criticize the decision, he questioned the motive. He straight up said LeBron cares more about the stat line than the result. The 25, the 30, the 34 points, that's what keeps coming first. After the game, the headlines told the same old story. The win gets a mention, sure, but the numbers are what dominate the conversation. And that's where the sting really hits, because it cuts straight into the image LeBron James has carefully protected for 2 decades. Winning is nice, but stats are what shield the legacy. And Kwame Brown made it clear that mindset is the real problem. Kwame didn't stop there either. He said something that genuinely rattled people. He claimed the Lakers looked more connected without LeBron. That's a wild statement on the surface, but in Kwame's mind, it explains everything. When LeBron came back after a long break, the rhythm shifted. The offense stopped flowing naturally and snapped back into his pace instead of continuing to evolve around the younger star. Yes, the wins still came, but the cohesion wasn't the same. The ball didn't move the same. The reads weren't as quick. And Kwame says that's not coincidence. That's what happens when the entire system has to reset around one player again. That Giannis moment mattered for another reason too. Kwame used it as a direct contrast. Giannis Antetokounmpo represents the old school superstar mold. A guy who plays both ends, guards the best player, attacks on offense, and doesn't chase numbers. No posing, no hesitation, no name watching, just basketball. That block wasn't personal, it was professional. And in Kwame's eyes, it symbolized something bigger. The league is moving forward. No more automatic deference. No more stepping aside because of reputation. That era is fading fast, whether people like it or not. From there, Kwame zoomed out into a broader critique. He wasn't just frustrated with LeBron, he was angry at the system itself. A system that rewards points over defense, numbers over impact, contracts over winning titles. He argued that today's players are conditioned to chase averages. Media praises it. Awards reward it. Money demands it. You don't get paid for locking someone up anymore. You get paid for dropping 30, even if your team comes up short. Kwame didn't give Luka Dončić a free pass either. While he backed Luka as the clear #1 option offensively, he admitted the defensive gaps are real. But in his mind, that doesn't change the hierarchy at all. Offense sets the tone. And right now, that role is crystal clear. Kwame Brown made one thing crystal clear. When playoff time hits and the lights get blinding, defense still matters. That's why the old legends were built different. They didn't just score, they carried the load on both ends. If the shot wasn't falling, they facilitated. If the matchup demanded defense, they locked in and took pride in it. That versatility is what defined real greatness in Kwame's eyes. According to Kwame, LeBron James at 41 is doing the opposite. He's chasing narratives, comparisons, graphics, the constant, look what I'm doing at this age conversation. And yes, on paper, it's impressive. But Kwame believes that obsession comes at a cost, because once you're focused on proving something individually, you stop fully trusting the collective. That's why Kwame keeps using the word fraud, and not to erase LeBron's career. He's talking about what he's seeing right now. A player who preaches team basketball but still demands the spotlight. A player who claims he'll make the right play but forces the issue when pride is involved. A player who says all the right things publicly but according to Kwame, values the stat line more than the final outcome. This is exactly why the debate gets so heated. Both sides have receipts. LeBron is still producing. The numbers are real. The longevity is unmatched. But basketball isn't played on spreadsheets. It's played in moments that define seasons. And in that tied game moment, Kwame believes LeBron failed the test. Not because the shot didn't go in, but because he took it. So now the real question hits. What happens next? Do the Lakers fully commit to Luka Dončić as the unquestioned closer? Do they redefine LeBron's role publicly, not just behind closed doors? Or do they keep walking this awkward tightrope where everyone pretends there isn't a hierarchy problem? Because the longer this drags on, the louder voices like Kwame Brown's are going to get. And if you want more real basketball breakdowns without the fluff, make sure you're subscribed and stay locked in. At the end of the day, Kwame Brown says this isn't about hate, it's about accountability. Legends don't get immunity just because of past greatness. When your decisions directly affect younger stars, locker room balance, and the direction of the franchise, criticism comes with the territory whether you like it or not. Kwame is saying what a lot of people think but won't say out loud. The era of automatic LeBron James deference might be over. No more default respect in crunch time just because of a resume. And if LeBron can't accept that shift, then this tension isn't going anywhere. It won't disappear with one win, one highlight, or one big stat line. So now the ball is in LeBron's court, figuratively and literally. Does he actually step back and empower the next guy when it matters most? Or does the ego keep creeping in during those final possessions? Because in the NBA, reputations don't flip overnight, but moments pile up fast, and people are watching closely. According to Kwame, this situation says way more about LeBron's mindset than it does about one play. When you're secure in your role, you don't force moments. You don't need to prove anything in a tie game. You trust the system, the hierarchy, and the guy who's been carrying the scoring load all season. And right now, that guy is Luka Dončić. Whether fans like it or not, the numbers and the eye test both tell the same story. Luka is the engine. Luka is the closer. Luka is the player every defense is geared to stop when the game tightens up. That's what makes this sting even more. LeBron has always preached, make the right basketball play at that. That phrase has protected him for years. But the right play isn't decided by legacy, contract talk, age narratives, or social media noise. The right play is whoever gives your team the best chance to win in that moment. And driving straight into one of the league's best defenders instead of putting the ball in your hottest scorer's hands simply doesn't pass that test. That's why the conversation around LeBron feels different now. It's not about decline, it's about decision making. And if you want more real basketball breakdowns without the fluff, make sure you're subscribed and stay locked in. In the past, criticism never really stuck to LeBron James. Wins backed him up. Titles shut everyone up. Championships acted like armor. Every debate ended the same way. Count the rings. But now, when the Lakers struggle, when chemistry looks shaky, and when younger stars are clearly ready to take control, every single moment gets magnified. Now, every late-game decision lives under a microscope. Every possession turns into a referendum. Is LeBron still pushing this team forward, or is he quietly holding it back without realizing it? Kwame Brown isn't saying LeBron was never great. He's saying the league has changed, and LeBron hasn't fully accepted where he fits in that change yet. And great leaders understand timing. They know when to step forward and when to step aside. Kwame believes if LeBron truly wants to extend his impact, that adjustment has to happen sooner rather than later. The scary part for the Lakers is that this goes way beyond one season. This is about direction, identity, long-term vision. Are you building toward the future or clinging to the past because of name recognition and nostalgia? Because you can't do both. Eventually, someone has to be fully empowered. Half measures don't work in crunch time. They only create hesitation, confusion, and mixed signals when the game is on the line and decisions have to be instant. So the question isn't going away anytime soon. Should Luka Dončić be the unquestioned closer, or does LeBron still deserve that responsibility when the game tightens up? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button if you want more real basketball talk, and stay tuned, because this debate is far from over.